that we are cool right now. All right, let me know that we're cool. Let me know that it is better right now. You can see me, you can hear me. Welcome to the Skill Up Show, that show where we come and answer one of those questions that parents have asked about how they can support their children more effectively as parents. All right, we do the show every Thursday at 7 p.m. Unfortunately, we had to delay today because we came live earlier on and we had a challenge while we were live. So we went off and we had to come back hoping that we have better network. Are we posted? All right, so it looks like it's good now, and so we can throttle on. I'm so sorry about this. My name is Maribeth Chima, and I'm the founder of the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy and PTM Resources. And yes, I am the proud matron of the Mastermind Circle. I am that child support coach that your child needs. I am that motivational coach. Not motivational, that child motivator. Yes, send us your preteens. Let's motivate them and remind them of who they are and who God says they are. We don't just leave it at talking to them. We guide them. We hold their hands and then we show them what is possible. We help your children behold what it is that is possible. We put them in communities with other children who are doing amazing things just like them. And so with that, it's very easy for our children to believe that they can do all things right. So, yes, welcome to the show. I want to start by saying that we were created to live in communities. Not a single one of us was created to live in isolation. So, there is the place of drawing strength from one another in communities. And so it is key that our children understand this from an early age. It is important that you program your child to know, to understand that they were created to live in community. Our children need to know that there is no weakness in asking for support. There is no weakness in asking for help. Our children need to know that with each other we are stronger, with each other we are better. They need to know that there is the place of applying themselves, and of course there is also the place of seeking help when you need help. And this is what the conversation is about today. What can you do as a parent? What can we do as parents to program our children to understand the place of a support system in their lives? And what can we do to ensure that our children have that support system that they need? Welcome again to the show. If you are here right now, why don't you say something in the comment section so that we know that we have company, that you are with us? If you have a friend who is a parent of a young person or the parent of a preteen, then you need to invite them to be a part of the show, because this show is for parents of young children and preteen. We want to have this conversation, answer the questions that parents are asking so that we can skill you up as a parent, or we can equip you, right, with tools and strategies that you can use to become a more effective parent. All right. So if you're a parent and you are raising kids today, then it is crucial that you build a strong support system for them from the very beginning. So from the earliest time, your children should be introduced, they should grow into knowing that there is a support system. So it's not enough that you have a support system, or that you wish you have a support system, or that you think you have a support system. You need to be sure that you have a support system. Your children would know and they would recognize the people who are their support system. They will recognize what it is in their environment that is there to support them. It is crucial that we create this, or that we build this around our children right from the very beginning. When we do this, we help our children to be grounded. We help them to be grounded. We prepare them to face challenges. We help them to grow in a community where there is love, where there is care, and where there is counsel. Yes, in the community where there is love, where there is care, where there is wisdom shared, and where there is a strong network and a solid environment, and of course, individuals that they can turn to when they need to be supported. You owe this to your child, dear parents. We all owe this to our children. Now, when we are able to create this kind of system, then we have something to leverage on as parents. We have something to leverage on in our times of need, in our times of weariness, in our absence, basically, and of course, in the times that we need partners and collaborators. It is the support system that you have created already that you can now leverage on at times like this, when you need to be supported, when you are unavailable, when you need collaborators, when you need partners. So you see, either way, or whichever way you want to look at it, you need people who would support you. You need a system where your children can get support, and you need a system where your children understand that it is okay to be supported, right? Or to ask to be supported in their community, in your environment, and of course, in your home and wherever your child is. All right. So why do we need to create a support system? Why do we need to create support systems for our children and in our parenting? Number one, it will help with emotional stability. When you have a support system, all right, meaning at every point, your children have people who are there to support them. At every point, your child has got someone. At every point, your child has got an environment. At every point, your child has got a system that supports them. So what happens is your child grows in a community that has love, in a community that has care. Of course, this will help with emotional stability. Now, it's one thing to have a community or to have people around you. It's another for that community or these people to be effective. So it's not just about having individuals around. It's not just about having a community of support around. It's about having a community or individuals that are in sync with you. It's about having a community or individuals that belong to your tribe. And when I say your tribe now, I do not mean people who come from your what do you call it now, from your tribe, like traditional, what's it called, not necessarily people who come from your ethnic tribe, right? That's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about the people that you have embraced as your tribe, the people who are a part of your life, the people who are a part of your community, the trusted people in the life of your children, the trusted people in your life, the people that when you are not there, you will be at peace, knowing that your children have these people surrounding them. These are the people that we are talking about. And so, yes, parents, if you have not, you are a parent, you're raising children. If you weren't doing this before you became a parent, if you were a solo kind of person, you were isolated when you were growing up, or when you were a single person, I mean, you are one of those people that like your peace, you like your aloneness and everything, it's okay. But the moment you have children, you cannot be that person that likes their aloneness anymore. You must create a community for your child. You must create a support system for your child. And we'll be sharing some suggestions for the kind of support system that you should create or that your child will need in their environment. All right, so these are the things that we're talking about. We say when we have this support system in place for our children, then our children will grow and be emotionally stable. Number two, it will help them, it will build them to be resilient people. Yes, it will build them to be resilient people. The simple fact that you know that when you are stuck, or when you are going through a challenge, you do not need to throw in the towel. You do not need to throw it all away and walk off. You know that there is a support system, or there are systems that you can turn to seek for help. What that does for you is that it keeps you resilient. It keeps you, it helps you, or it allows you to persevere. All right. It also gives you that leverage to know that you are not alone. You have someone to turn to. You have a system to turn to. You have people to turn to. All right. So when this is the case, you would realize that a giving, I mean, the spirit to give up is not part of you, right? You have, I mean, rather than give up or throwing the towel, as I said, you have a never give up kind of spirit. All right. So that's the thing. We need to raise our children this way so that our children will understand that you don't just walk away every time it is tough. All right. You try your best. And if after trying your best, you are still struggling, then you look around you and you leverage the support of the system that your parents have created for you, or the system that you have created together. So yes, this is one of the reasons why our children need to be introduced to support systems, where they need to know that there is something like a support system, when they need to, or why they need to know the people or the environment or the system that they can turn to, that they can rely on as their support system. Number three, it helps to build their confidence and independence. All right, do you know, I use this analogy a lot, right? I say when you okay, so let's take for instance, right? It's a major holiday where a lot of people in your neighborhood, okay, let's say you live in a compound or you live in a building with 3 or 4 people, all right, and it's a major holiday, and the other people in that environment, had to travel, and you are alone. Now, there is this sense of aloneness that you feel, right? Just knowing that every other apartment is vacant and you are the only one in that compound. Now, chances are you will be more conscious knowing that you are alone in the entire compound. Another thing is you will be more careful, or you will, safety becomes, a paramount at that time, right? So you are more conscious about your safety. Okay, you find out that you are more conscious about locking doors, and all of that. Now, why is this? It's because there is a sense of safety that has left you, or there's a sense of confidence that has left, just knowing that you do not have anyone to turn to if anything goes wrong. Meanwhile, when these people are around, it's not as if you go visit them. You probably live in that compound together and you don't see yourselves for weeks on end, but you just come in and you see their car parked, and then you walk in knowing that, okay, I'm not alone here. But all of a sudden, there's no other, there are no cars. It's just your car that's parked there. So there's this loneliness that comes. So it's the same thing, right? Just knowing that I am not alone. Just knowing that, if anything happens, I have someone to turn to. Just knowing that I have a system that I can rely on is enough to help your child build confidence and to be independent. Yes, to be independent, knowing, the independence is knowing that, something, if anything goes wrong, there are people here that will help me. So in the meantime, I can do this, right? It takes away fear, basically. It takes away fear, right? Or that feeling of aloneness. And of course, you build confidence. And with confidence comes, mastery and independence, and all of that. So it's very key, okay, that we have support system for some of these reasons. The last one I'm going to share with you is it, of course, will help to promote their moral ethics, right? So when we have the right people supporting our children, all right, different support system, it means that you have created, right, you have created opportunities for your child, opportunity for your child to receive care, opportunity for your child to receive love, opportunity for your child to receive wisdom, right, opportunity, of course, for the child to learn from other people in their system. Now, you have also created a system where your child does not rely on you alone. All right, I say this to parents all the time. If your voice is the only voice that your child listens to, if you are not able to find voices in your environment, voices in your circle that sound like your voice, when I say sound like your voice, your beliefs, your ideology, your convictions, right? All of that. If you are not able to find people around you who sound like you, in their convictions, who sound like you in their beliefs, who sound like you in their mindset, then you owe your child more. You don't want to be the only voice of wisdom in the head of your child. What this means is it's risky, because what it means is that when your child does not have your voice in their head, then they probably would not listen to any other person. So you want to create that, system where your child knows that there are other people that you can trust. You want to find that trusted other people in their life and point them to these people. And of course, make these people a part of their support system. All right. So this is what we are talking about. If you are here with me, you're catching the replay. I know we had to move the time of this show. I'm sure some people thought that we were not doing this again after we went off. But hey, we are here. If you're catching the replay, let us know, of course, that you joined the show. All right. And of course, if you have a friend who needs to be a part of this, why don't you go ahead and tag them straight up? Tag them so that they can be a part of the show. Okay. Looks like, okay, I think that went off. All right. So tag them so that they can also be a part of the show as we throttle on. All right. So let's quickly look at the different phases in our children's life. It's going to be a short show. We are done here in 30 minutes or 45 minutes tops. All right. So let's look at the different people in our children's life that can, or the different phases of their lives where they will need a support system, first of all, and then the people that can be support system, okay, or the systems that you can create to support your child. All right. So number one, okay, or let's group this into ages, right? So let's group this into phases. Now, the people or the kind of support that your child will need, Facebook. All right. So the kind of support that our children will need will change over time. All right. So between ages 0 and 6, there's a certain kind of support that our children will need. That as they grow older, we would have to, adjust, or we would have to add more support system for our children. So let's look quickly at some of the support system that you need to create for your child, some of the people or the environment that you need to create for your child to leverage on as a support system. Number one, your family. All right, your family is very key. All right, apart from you, I mean, after you, the parents, of course, we know that ultimately you are your child's first and the most important support system. All right, we know that one, you are their primary caregiver, you are the eyes of the world, right? You are the first person that they will see the world through, all right, and all of that. So yes, you are their most important support system. The next support system after you is the family, the entire family. All right. Now, your family could be your nuclear family and of course your extended family. Now you want to leverage the support of their siblings, right? We want to leverage the support of siblings, all right, in raising or in your parenting. So point your younger children to their older sibling. That is why it's important what you're doing with each of your children. Because if you can put in your energy into supporting your older kids, or and then guiding them, of course, skilling them up and guiding them to, walk the right path. It means that when you have younger children, you can leverage on the support of what you have done. You can leverage on the young or the older sibling because of the how much you have invested right in their lives. So yes, the family is very key, and the family can be that system where older siblings can become mentors, or older siblings can become examples, all right, or models for their younger sibling. All right. You can also do this with your extended family, grandma, your siblings, and all of that. So this means that, if you are going to leverage the support of your extended family, then it means that you share similar values, or at least they know the values that you uphold, and they know what it is that you stand for. All of that, your values, your mindset, your beliefs, your ideology, all of this forms the standard. And so if you're going to be leveraging the support of your siblings or your grandma, and any other person that is going to be a part of your child support system, then you need to ensure that you are on the same page with these people. You need to ensure that you are in sync as far as your values and your belief systems go. So very key. It's not enough to say, oh, I have people that I can rely on. I have a support system. You need to be sure that you are in sync. You need to be sure that these people share the values that you share. And you need to be sure that your child is truly safe, right? Remember, we said effective, how we can have effective support system and not just any support system. So for you to have an effective support system, then you need to be sure that the people that you have chosen, or the people that you are depending on, or the people that you have built, I mean, the relationship that you have built as a support system for your child is effective, and it's one that you know that your child is safe with. So yes, the family very key. The caregivers, of course, the caregivers now refer to the school, and then of course the people who come to work with you in your home by way of probably the nannies who work with your children, and of course healthcare practitioners or whatever it is, if you have people like this who support your child. So you need to be sure that these people are also in sync with you. It's not enough to just bring anybody. Anyone can just barge into your home, and then of course, provided they can take care of your child's physical need, you are cool. So we do this. A lot of us have done this. A lot of people are still doing this, where you bring random, I mean, totally random strangers, into your home. And all of a sudden, these people are the people that your child spends most of their time with. All right. Most of their time. I am not saying you don't need help. I'm not saying, but there is a way when you are being intentional, and when you're being intentional about your child support system, there is a way you can have people who support you and do not directly support your children if you are not sure of the kind of support that they bring to the table. I mean, I've had a housekeeper who worked with me for a whole 3 years. But my children had the minutest interaction with this person. All right, because this person resumes work at 8. My children are gone to school already, and this person ends the day at about 3 when I've gone to pick the children, right? So they had very, very, very little interaction with this person, because by the time she comes in, they are gone. And by the time they're coming back, she is gone a lot of the times. She doesn't work during the weekends. So the only time that they had interactions or they had to meet her were the times that they were probably on holidays, right? Times that we were on holidays, public holidays and times like that. And even at that, there was really very little that this person had to do with them for them. So it was really very intentional, because at the end of the day, the children learn to do things for themselves. The children get to do things for themselves. All right. And so even when they are around and she's around, they didn't have to depend on her, because there were hardly anything that she had to do for them or they had to do for her. So yes, I'm not saying you should understand what I'm talking about. All right. Until you are sure that this person can support your child, until you are sure of the source of the support, right? Until you are sure of what that system or who this person or these people are that are supposed to be a support system, then they shouldn't be a part of who or the people that your child should be relying on, or that your child knows as a go-to person, basically. All right. So yes, what kind of people, or who are the people in your home that your children spend all or most of their time with? This person automatically is a part of your child's support system. Now, it's not just about having a support, it's about having effective support, and a support that is not sabotaging your efforts, or that is not making a mess of your whole system, basically. All right. So very key. So they are caregivers. That also includes their school. So what it simply means is, if you have taken your child to a school, then you should trust that school, because this is a place where your child is going to spend some of the most memorable times of their lives. Some of the most, the longest times of their lives, your children are going to spend in the company of these people. So, you wake up and you drop your child in school at 8 a.m., maybe even earlier, and your child is in that school these days. It's crazy. Children are in school for the longest hours, right? Sometimes our children are in school till about 3, 4. How many hours is that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your child is away in a system. Your child is away in some center for a whole 8 hours, and you want to wing that. No, you don't want to wing it. So this system, definitely the school system, is a very serious, is a crucial support system. So you want to make sure that that support system was investigated and that support system was picked intentionally. Yes, you must make sure that you are intentional about the support system. That's what a support system is. It's not just someone who is available that you dump your child with. Your support system is a system that you have created intentionally, that you have built intentionally to support your child, whether you are, especially when you are not there. So your support system is that assurance that your child has. Remember, I said that when children have support system, or when they are sure of the support system that they have, it helps to build their resilience. It helps to make them stable because there's emotional stability. So the support system is not just about knowing that there's someone. It's about knowing that there's someone who cares. It's about knowing that there's someone who loves you. It's about knowing that there's someone that is stability. It's about knowing that this person is safe. So yes, in creating a support system intentionally, you must be sure that that support system is effective. How do we mean when we say effective? It is safe, it is happy, right? The support system is a safe place for your child. The support system is a place where your child will be cared for. The support system is a place where your child will feel loved. And of course, there is stability in that support system. So we said, yes, that your family is one of that. And then the caregivers. And that caregiver, of course, includes your school or the school where the children go to. That is a very solid support system you have there. All right. So you don't want to play with it, or you don't want to just wing it. You don't want to dump your child in a place that you are not sure of. All right. If you will not take your jewelries, you won't take your gold, you won't take your diamonds and drop them, in just any space at all that is not safe, then you certainly shouldn't be dropping your children there, because of course your children are worth much more than that gold and silver. Am I speaking your heart? Yes, I am. All right. So very key. All right, then I said, of course, the domestic staff that we have, the nannies and whoever they are, the people who work in our homes, if these people are not just going to do the job and face their lane, if they are going to be there supporting your children, if they are the ones that are going to be holding your children accountable, if they are the ones that your children are going to be turning to and depending on, then I promise you, your child is not just going to be taking rice and beans for them. The child is going to be taking their attitude and taking their behaviors and taking their mindset, their ideology. All of it is a full package. So you want to be careful and you want to be intentional about this ones too. All right. The next one is, of course, healthcare practitioners. All right. Health is wealth. All right. We need to be healthy, right, to be alive. So yes, the people, it's important that you create or that you build a support system that helps you in this area. All right. So you want to, if you're a parent, you have children, then you can't just be someone who walks in and walks out of just any hospital and every hospital. You want to create some support system. All right. You want to create some support system. You want to create, that doctor, or that's medical facility where the history of your child's health, and all of that, especially if you have a child with any health challenges at all right, with any developmental or health challenges, then you want to create, or you want to build a system that you can begin to trust, a system that you can depend on, and a system that the child becomes familiar with and the child can also depend on. All right, we need to feel safe in every area of our lives. So there should be that doctor that your child walks into, the office, or walks in to see, or who walks towards your child, and the child feels safe. You should have that doctor. You should have that, that facility where you go in and you feel calm, or you feel safe that your child is going to be okay. All right. So it's important psychologically, right? It's important psychologically. It's important mentally. All right. Even for your journey as a parent, that you have health healthcare professionals, right, that you can depend or that you can leverage on, right, whatever system you have built there for in your parenting. The next one is your faith community. Yes, your faith community, very, very principal. We said earlier on that when we create support system, it will also help to build our children's moral ethics. So it's important that you have a solid faith community that you feed from, that your children learn. The faith community where your children will see you honor your God, right? You have one the right faith community where your children will watch faith at its peak. Now, a community where your children will also see how humanity or how important, right, humanity is to you. They would see how you serve in that community. They will see how you relate to people in that community. They will see how you contribute to that community. They will see how you serve in that community. So the faith community is one of the very important places where we can teach our children service. We can teach our children charity, service, leadership, and how to be committed. So it is one place that you want to leverage as a support system. All right, it's one place where a lot of lessons can be taught. The faith community is also that place where your children will be pointed to honoring, all right, authority, and honoring the people, the fathers of our faith, and the leadership of your faith, of your worship community, and all of that. So it's very important in your parenting journey. My studio is looking a bit dark. Is that any better? All right, so very key. All right, the next community, or the next support system that you want to create for your child is your social network, right? The social network that you build as a parent. This one is very, 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 is so important, right? It's so important, is almost as important as the family. All right, so I said the first support system I said we have to create is the family support system, where your children know that we were born, or we were created to live in communities. We were not created to live in isolation. So right there in your family, your children are going to learn what community is about. Your children are going to learn your children will see the world through your family. So what relationships should be like, what communication should be like, what community should be like, what commitments should look like, right? All of that your child is going to learn right there in your home and in your family system, your nuclear family, your extended family. That's where your child would get their first understanding of what loyalty, of what community, of what living, with people in peace, and all of that. So it's really crucial. All right. Now, almost as important as family is also your social networks. Now, your social network is going to include the friends that you have. Now, this is how you model creating relationships or building relationships with your children. Your children are going to learn how to respect friendship. Your children are going to learn how to build relationships. They're going to learn how to manage relationships. They're going to learn how to communicate with other people. All of these, your children are going to learn firsthand from you, seeing how you pick, or how you the people that you give access to you, right? Your child is going to learn all of that from you. The premium that you place on yourself, how you accept that people treat you, starting from your spouse, how you accept that you're being treated by other people, how you accept that you're being talked to by other people. Your child is going to learn all of this just watching you in your social network. The kind of people that you choose as your friends, the choices of friends that you make. Do you have a bunch of lousy friends? Do you have a bunch of, you know what I'm talking about? All right. the kind of people you surround yourself with would give permission to your child on the kind of people that they should surround themselves with. All right. So, yes, your social network is very important, and it is definitely a support system that you are building. I mean, if you at this stage you're having children and you do not understand that friendship is a legacy, all right, that your friends will become people that your children, if you are not building the kind of friends that if for any reason your children need to turn to people when you are not there, they can turn to your friends. If you are not building the kind of tribe or the kind of relationships where when your children are stuck and you are not there, they can turn to your friends. If you're not building relationships at the kind of tribe where when your children cannot reach you for any reason, they can turn to these people, then you are doing your children a disservice, because friendship is very key. All right. And as I said, you are going to be modeling to your child what premium to place on themselves, how to be, I mean, accept that other people treat them, how to accept that people talk to them, how to show commitment to friendships and to relationships through what it is that you model and what it is that you accept in your own relationships. So, yes, your social network is a very important support system that your child, that you need to create or build for your child, and you need to leverage on in your parenting journey. All right, that part of that social system is also the children building their own network. All right, so you want to guide them, you want to put them in the right environment, you want to create the right environment for your children. All right, it is said that we can't, I mean, we can't choose our friends, our children's friends, right? Even if you do, or even if you tried, as they get older, they will form their own affiliations. As they get older, they will pick their own preferences. So what do you do as a parent? Your job as a parent is to place your children in environments that are empowering, to place them in environments where they have people, the environment that has the kind of people that you will want them to mingle with. All you need to do is place them in that environment, and you step away, and they will mingle, they will find their kind, because yes, you have introduce them to the right kind of environment. This is why we say to parents, bring your children to the mastermind circle. All right. So the mastermind circle is our peer mentorship and accountability group for children between ages 6 and 14. When the children become 14, they are now full teenagers. And so we graduate them, and we send them off basically as graduates of the mastermind circle to other teenage programs, right? Knowing full well that we have grounded them, we have helped them build a solid foundation in all our unique dimensions of education: self-management, home management, financial skills, financial skills, talents and interests, right? Um, Spiritual growth, academics, leisure reading and appreciation of books, leadership. All right. So in all of these areas, as we work with them throughout the year, we are building them emotionally, physically, and all of these ways. We're building them up in all of these areas. And as our children are growing and they're building themselves in all of these areas, they are learning how to take initiatives. They are learning how to motivate themselves. They are learning how to direct themselves. They are building empathy right here in the circle. They are building empathy. They are building leadership skills. They are building community and building networks right here in the mastermind circle. I mean, we have taken this whole accountability and peer mentorship to the next level in the mastermind. We have them have accountability partners. We are making the children, we are helping them build a solid foundation for what it is that they should do as they become teenagers. So by the time we pass them through the system, when they are 14, they already know how to navigate. So no, you won't have a struggling teenager after they've been with us in the mastermind for 2, 3, 4 years before they become full-blown teenagers. So that's why we say to parents, the mastermind is a foundation ground. It's a building place. Accountability in the mastermind is like nothing that you know. Our accountability is solid. Yes, because we understand the group of children that we are working with. And so we know that during this phase, they need, I mean, they are on the spectrum of motivation. So we're moving them from external motivation or a motivation to internal or intrinsic motivation. So our goal at this phase is not to have them just do, right? Our goal is to encourage them and make them begin to move on that spectrum from being externally motivated to gradually becoming self motivated, to the point that we have children who have been with us in the mastermind. This is their third year, and these children, as far as self direction, self motivation goes, these children are high on the spectrum. Now, this is the goal. There's zero shaming in the mastermind circle, zero shaming, but the accountability is 100%. So you cannot hide. In the mastermind, we know you, we see you. You are not showing up, we are coming for you. So basically, the children are guided in a loving and a safe community, to actually evolve, as they go. So it's very key. The environment that you place your child in is very important. In that environment, the child will become self-aware. In that environment, the child will become resourceful. In that environment, the child, who is this? This is somebody that knows me. Go, Kambili Chiku. Oh, who can this be? Is this Najafo? All right, this has to be someone that knows me. All right, then. So in that community, the child will find themselves. They will find themselves. They become self-aware. They become empathetic. They build their network, and all of that. So this is very, very key. All right. So right there, they will find, their own community. And that community, children, as preteens, we're talking about preteens a lot in this class, right? So as preteens, the children get to that point in their life. Yes, it has to be a four. All right. So at this point, the children get to that point in their life where the circle of influence begins to change. All right. So it moves from them believing and wanting to do everything that you ask them to do. It moves from them wanting to be like daddy and be like mommy. It moves from them wanting to please you to wanting to please their peers. So yes, they want to be woke like the boys are woke. They want to be woke like the girls are woke. They want to be with people who are like them, who sound like them. Now, during this phase where the circle of influence, has shifted, you have moved from the first level of influence to level 3 or level 5 even. So it's important that you have placed them before now. When they were toddlers jumping around, when they were 6 and 7, you had placed them in the right kind of environment. So when they become 12 and 13, when their heads are doing like this, you know that they are in the company of the right kind of friends, because we strategically place them with people like them. Thank you very much. Light up cake. Asagam. All right, so thank you very much. All right, so let's move on. So this is about it. So let's go right into now when your children move from 0 to 6, right? And they move on to their preteens. What kind of support system do they need at this point? We already talked about family, caregivers, healthcare professionals, their faith leaders, our faith community. We talked about their friends and their peers, and then your friends also. Okay, so we talked about all of that, right? So now let's look at when they become teenagers or preteens. What do you call it now? What kind of support system do they need? What support system should you put in the face of your children at this stage? Now, this is, as I just talked about, their peers. So their peers are still relevant at this phase, especially, at this phase. Their peers become even more relevant. For your 12-year-old, your 13-year-old, their peers are very important at this phase. So that's why we said try and put them in the right community as early as possible. So if you have your 8-year-olds, your 6, your 7, you run and bring them to us in the mastermind. Bring them to the mastermind circle, okay? It is not expensive. It's one of the cheapest, not cheapest, it's one of the most affordable. And not because, see, it's so much value, yet it's so affordable, because We want more children to come on, right? We want more parents to bring their children on board, right? So we have tried to make it as affordable as possible. It's just 70,000 for the entire year. That's like less than 6,000 naira per month. It's not even the price of half pizza, right? It's not the price of half pizza. With that, you are giving your child a solid foundation. You're putting the child in a community of like minds. You are actually sending the child to the number one child support and matron that you can think of. This one is my forte. This is my place when it comes to supporting, right, preteens and young children. When it comes to motivating this group of children, send them to us. All right. So you have this, all of these right here in the mastermind circle. Then we offer you the kind of accountability that helps you stop fighting and struggling with your children at home, because we are sharing that responsibility with you now, and we're holding the children accountable. Don't worry, don't ask me how I do it. There's just a way that the children just want to do it. They just want to be in Auntie Marybeth's good book. There just is a way. Now, apart from that, we are there reinforcing whatever it is that you are doing with your children. See, you need that other voice that sounds like you. When these children go to school, their friends don't sound like you. You are telling them to watch TV only during the weekends. Their friends watch TV till 2 a.m. in the morning. What's your problem? You are not, you are old school. That's how they see you. So you need to put them with people like us who will reinforce what you are saying. Now they know, oh, it's not just my mommy that is old school. It's not just my daddy that is old school. All right. Oh, there are other people. Oh, there are children like me who have this in their homes. I mean, this is your child in the company of hundreds of other children, and no, we can't all be wrong. I mean, it's not all 100 of us that are not woke now, and then it's just the 6 or 10 or 18 children in their class. So you need to put them in communities where they can see children like themselves, and they can hear the same things that you're saying, so that you stop sounding like a broken record. Okay, it becomes a case of, oh, okay, it's not just my money. Okay, this cool Auntie Marybeth believes it too. All right. So that's it. So yes, their peer is very important. You also want to put them in support system where they have coaches and skill assistants, right? So yes, if you're a parent and your child is not pursuing any skill, you're not allowing your child look inward to see the talents that they have, to see the gifts that they have, and begin to leverage and hone those gifts and talents, you are doing them a disservice. This is a place to help them channel their energy too. It's because your child is not pursuing any skill. Your child is not becoming passionate about anything else. That's why the only thing they do at home is stay and eat food and dump the plate. They don't wash it. You quarrel, you fight every day. If they are busy, they won't have time. You won't have time for them, and they won't have time to be there quarreling. They need to go for a football match. So no, they don't have time. They just want to do the dish and run out and go because they are busy. They need to go create something, right? And so they just want to get it done with the dishes and then run and go and do, because they are busy. All right. So we need to get them into coaching programs, get them to do skills, get them a coach. Stop being local champions where your children will just be doing things on their own. If you notice that the child is interested in something, the child has an interest in that thing, then let's up the game. Let's up the game and get people to coach them. Who says our children are too young to begin to build mastery in any area? And I mean any area at all. All right. The next group of people are spiritual guides. You need to ensure that your children are in that space where they can begin to know God for themselves. All right. Put them in systems where they are not just being given instructions, systems that would challenge them to ask questions about God, to ask questions about faith, to ask questions about beliefs. And of course, you want to make sure that they are in an environment where you have people who can answer these questions the way you would like them answered, or the way you would answer them, meaning your faith, people who are in sync, with your beliefs, with your ideology, with your mindset, of course, and of course, with your convictions. Very, very key. All right. The next group of people are, of course, mentors, right? Very key. You need us. You need us. You need children. You need people who can model to your children what they should aspire to be. They need to behold to become. So we need people who will constantly raise the bar. There is that blurry line, where being objective is concerned. There is that blurry line when you are the only one who is doing this job. Sometimes you lose it, you get angry, you get upset, you are not objective because you are the parents. There is a lot of emotion going on in your relationship with your child. So you need that mentor, that those blurry emotional lines are not there. Not like the mentor is not attached to your child or doesn't love your child, but yes, you know what I'm talking about. The way you are affectionate towards your child, that blurry line is out there. I mean, I am a parenting coach, I am a mentor, I have my children that I work with, but my children also have other people who mentor them, because I know that I can't be their only mentor. The lines are going to be blurry sometimes. I will lose it sometimes and be like, what is it? I expect this. The bar is like this with parents, but the mentor knows how to come down and go up. We know how to escalate, we know how to come down, we know how to level up, we know how to encourage, we know how to get them on that spectrum of motivation. Basically, we can be patient like that. All right. So get your child a mentor, get your child that person that when you're done talking about something, you can say, I'm sure you would like to talk. I mean, you would like to talk to your mentor about this and get back to me on what she thinks or he thinks, and all of that. I had an issue with my son a few days, about a week ago, and all of that. He had gone out of line, on something that was sitting right on our family values. He actually, defaulted. And so we had a conversation. I had a conversation with him. And while we're talking about it and all that, I mentioned something. And he was like, okay, I didn't think he was that way. And I asked him, okay, have you had this conversation with your mentor before? And he said, yes. So what is your mentor stand? What stands on it? What did he say? And he's like, oh, well, he feels, he thinks the way you think about it and all that. So are you sure about that? He said, right, okay, have a conversation with him again about your own thoughts and come back. Let's talk about it when you're done, having that conversation with him. So you want that trusted adult in the life of your child that your child can go back to, or that you can send your child to. You want that person that when your child is not talking to you, the child is talking to them. And because you have strategically positioned this person in the child's life, then even if the person will not tell you everything, because even I still owe the child's, some level of confidence and privacy and all of that. Don't worry, we are for you. All right. But somehow there are certain things that, but you can be sure, right, that your child is talking to the right person. Because the truth about it is, whether your child is talking to you or not talking to you, the child is definitely talking to somebody. All right. So the child is talking to somebody. The child is talking to somebody. Right? If that person is not you, then there's somebody else. Now, who that person else is the problem. So that person else can be anybody, can be some abused classmate, can be some over, it can be anybody at all. In fact, that person can even be some what do you call it, celebrity, right, that the child has decided is a role model, and the child is basically modeling their life into their own life, even when they don't have access. It's crazy, the mind of a child and all of that. So you want to put that trusted adult, in the child's life that the child can go to, even if the child is not coming to you. Okay, and it's a win-win, it's a safe situation, and all of that. And then finally, the education system. You want to put your children in an education system that you can trust, that the child can trust, that the child can believe in, and of course, that can serve as some mentor. I was with my son's teacher yesterday during a PTC, and I said to him, please, I don't know, I would like you to not just see him as just another child in the class. See him as someone that you're mentoring. Because whether I like it or not, this person is mentoring your child. I mean, your child is in that homeroom with this human being for 8 hours. 8 hours in a day. Who told you? The child is speaking his mannerism or her mannerism. The child is speaking the way they talk, the way they communicate, the way they talk. If it's one man that talks offhandedly, I'm telling you, after 1 year, your child will pick one or two things and it will start reflecting in their life. So whether you like it or not, this person has got your child's ears and probably the child's heart in that 1 year. No, you want to be a part of this person. You want to be in this person's business. And of course, you want to make sure that you and this person, you align, so have conversations with their teachers. Go in and see them every now and then. Help them know. I mean, let them know what you're doing with your child. Let them know the journey that you're working with your child. Share a bit of your vision with them so that they know that this one is not just every other child in the class. As educators, as teachers, we know children whose parents are present in their lives, and we know the ones that it's okay, anything can go. I'm not saying that teachers are biased, but I tell you, there are some kids that when the teacher picks a pen to write on their paper or on their communication book or deal with them, they dot their I's and they cross their T's because they know there's somebody at home who is watching. There's someone at home who is present. There's someone at home who is demanding a level or a standard. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here today. If you have not heard anything, I want you to remember that we can support your child in the mastermind circle. We can partner with you to help you achieve those visions that you have created as a family, that you want to step down to your children. We are your trusted partners. And if your child or your partner, and if your child is not in the mastermind circle and they're between 6 and 13, you are wrong. All right, just check in the comments or check right now. It's scrolling right now. The information is scrolling on your screen. If you would like to have your child join us in the mastermind circle, registration for the mastermind circle for the year closes at the end of October. And after that, you won't be able to join us till the next cohort begins. All right. So you can get your child on board right now and let's do this together. All right. Apart from that, we have a smashing course that is coming up in November. Yes, in November, we're going to be taking 20 teenagers on a journey. Preteens, sorry, on a journey. We call it Pathway to Becoming a Resourceful Teenager. We want to help you stretch your preteens. We want to help you get your preteens into the space where they can push themselves. We want to go on a journey for 4 weeks with them every weekend. It's a whole workshop with your preteens. All right. The details will be in the comment section after this class. You can check that detail and enroll your child. It's only $9.99 to join. Naira, I didn't say dollars, just $9.99. $9.99. All right, and your child can be a part of that 1 month workshop where I would have my team and I working with the children to set goals for themselves, to do a small project. All right. We want the children to push themselves. We want them to dare themselves. We want them to believe in themselves. We want them to initiate something. We want them to stay on task and we want them to execute. And we will be with them, working with them and, training them throughout the period of 1 month so that they can achieve one small project that will remind them of the capacity that they have even for greater things. Thank you very much for being a part of this show today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. If you're catching the replay, let us know if you got value from this session. If you're here right now, let us know if you got value for the session. Are you going to share the link with someone to also catch the replay? Please do. Thank you again and have a fantastic rest of the day. Please, if you're on Instagram, it's not scrolling on your screen right now. I will put the information in the comment section if you would like to be a part of the 1 month workshop for your child between 10 and 14. This is for children between 10 and 14. And if you'd like to be in the mastermind circle, it's a whole year subscription program. Then you get your child on board, your 6-year-olds to your 14-year-olds, and we will be glad to work with you, with the child, and of course, partner with you. Thank you very much. It's 1 hour, and I am glad to say thank you for allowing me be a part of your parenting journey. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Bye. Bye-bye. All right, bye now.